Hi Cancers, and welcome to your 2019 year ahead annual forecast. This is Sky here to read and channel in some of the energies that are really prevalent for your year coming in out of 2018 and moving into 2019. I hope that you're feeling a little bit better as you're starting this new year, as I know that the previous year had you frustrated in a lot of ways, but also growing in a lot of ways that you might not really be clear on until we get about halfway through 2019. It could be very easy to look back at 2018 and realize how nice things were in a way, despite there being a lot of random obstacles popping up in your way. What do you feel like you've learned coming out of 2018? Has there been a big change in how you act as a person? Has there been a big change in your morals, your virtues, your decision-making process as a person? I feel that Cancer has shifted very strongly. And I also feel that Cancer was sort of hanging by a thread as well throughout a lot of 2018. And what you see in 2019 is either the propelling and the rising through that thread and making it strong enough to hold your weight, or you can see the snapping and you can see the hitting of the rock bottom and so on and so forth. But I don't feel that that's very common for Cancer to experience a rock bottom in 2019. Anyway, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to get into this. I have an outline prepared to kind of go through your energies. We're going to talk about astrology messages, psychic intuitive messages, tarot. We're going to check out some tarot cards for you. And then we're also going to just feel our way through this and try to understand a better way to thrive in 2019 for you. So one of the first intuitive messages that I feel for Cancer is that the worst is over, but that's what's making it so difficult. Okay, so you're going to see moving into 2019 by around February, I feel, that a lot of the difficulties have subsided. Any of the trauma or pain has had a sort of natural closure in some kind of way. But does that make it more difficult to perceive, and does that make it more difficult to accept when this cycle that you're going through of pain and desire and uncomfortability? So I feel like Cancer has been quite uncomfortable throughout 2018 in a lot of ways. Very held, very claustrophobic feeling energy for Cancer coming out of 2018. And I feel beautifully that subsides throughout January and moving into February. You're going to have something in January that really challenges that and really forces you to work with that and open up your energetic spectrum a little bit. But once it subsides, I want you to think about what you do and what you're doing when difficult things subside. I want you to think about what that aftermath is like, and I want you to think about, is it possible that when something subsides, I prolong it? Is it possible that when I see the ending of something difficult, there's a fear of a void, or there's a fear of an emptiness, and so I kind of have to keep problems prevalent and I have to keep problems numerous in my life so that I can always be fixing something? Cancer is a very fixing, nurturing energy. So sometimes if there's not something to be tying up, or there's not something to be helping somebody with, or something to be healing from, it can feel like you're not doing something right. So I really want Cancer moving into 2019 to envision themselves having the opportunity of a stress-free experience for a while, having things which might have once been considered stressful now sort of being easily surpassed or easily accomplished. So like small things, small little issues that come up are easy to get out of the way, and then the time is free, and we're not kind of stuffing that time with a lot of chaotic possibilities. Really nice to see Cancer embracing their own strength and their own trust within themselves in the year 2019, because 2018 for Cancer was all about trust, all about security, all about safety, and all about deep discovery as well. We had Jupiter in Scorpio all of last year, and you guys have had that Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn opposite you, depending on where your sun is or wherever your Cancer placements are. So that's all about deep discovery. That's about not avoiding the things which have been haunting you for a long time. I mean, you could have seen that you healed from something, but then you might have attracted someone into your life who was a direct representation of that old pain, or you might have seen that no longer am I worried about about this career or this health problem, but you would have perhaps seen also that by virtue of not being worried about it, you saw a lot of people around you or experiences around you that evoked that to sort of see, like, is it true? Am I really not worried about this? Is this something I'm truly over? Is this something that I'm truly no longer scarred by? So the scars definitely got tested and got a little bit clawed at in 2018 for Cancer. And there were a lot of tests during that time. In 2019 hinges very directly upon how those tests were reacted to. So it wasn't bad maybe to feel stress, or it wasn't bad to even to experience a bit of a rock bottom on account of feeling perhaps a bit psychologically tortured throughout 2018. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. But the key is the allowance of that to subside. Allowing that torturous cycle to subside. Because sometimes you can see when you get into that yeah, like, all of my relationships get challenged, but by virtue of them being challenged, I really see how much people are there for me, or I really, like, see how much I'm there for them, and that's a really nice feeling. But when there's not this pain there, I don't see that, so that's not going to work, you know? To not have that pain, and to not have this, like, constant incision. It's like an incision, I feel like, this constant opening of a scar to kind of see, okay, is this healthy tissue? Like, I'm opening up this scar just to see if the tissue's healthy enough to heal. That's been sort of a constant thing for Cancer, and I feel that 2019 really asks you to allow true healing, which in a large part, Cancer is going to deal with either getting the stress out of your life, or getting the people who are causing the stress out of your life, or revamping your stress receptors and revamping how you are stimulated by things. And this is so beautiful. It might sound a little bit heavy, but one of the most incredible saving graces of 2019 for Cancer is the fact that you can become much stronger, and you can see that things that used to stress you out no longer do. And that's why it's going to also be important to always have a clear head, and to always have your head awake and, like, on your shoulders in 2019, because I feel it's very easy to let old habitual stress responses dominate your experience when you're not actually stressed out about these things. So for all the water signs, and I'm mentioning this in all the water sign year ahead videos, we're dealing with our stress responses in the year of 2019. 2018, it would have been nice to solve it there, and the really evolved people would have solved it there and sort of can kind of go out and be on the platform this year. But most of us are still facing it to some degree in 2019, and we're thinking, okay, does this thing that, like, gets my blood pumping, my heart racing, is that true? Or is this just like a chemical reaction in my body that is kind of a high in a way? And, you know, when I think of Cancer, I always think of one of the strongest things that they pride themselves for, which is their independence and their self-sufficiency. I feel like that is Cancer's most proud component of themselves. And you really have to get into that and realize, okay, is this stress response self-sustaining? Is this job or this career or this relationship contributing to the preservation of myself? Or is it threatening that? And is it this exterior stimulus, this job, career, or relationship that's threatening it? Or is it also perhaps a hypersensitive reaction to what those things could possibly be representing that I'm taking as gospel at this point in time? A really important distinction for Cancer and water signs in general this year to make is to see those interpretations and assumptions and to question them, to make them clear, and to also perhaps take an optimistic edge with it as well. It feels really easy for Cancer to, like, see a stress or to see a stress response and realize, no, like, that's not actually something that stresses me out. That's a really simple, easy thing. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to move on with my life. And it's like, it's that easy, and then you get all the time that you needed. You get all the space that you need by not allowing small things to grow so big within your space, but rather, like, taking care of things. So yes, we're dealing with procrastination there. That's it, Cancer. Finally, I got the message out. We're dealing a lot with procrastination in 2019 as Cancer, and we're dealing a lot with not just the thought of procrastination as, like, okay, I've got to, like, get this homework done, or I've got to get this job task done, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's not that simple definition of procrastination. We're also talking about deep inner self needs being procrastinated. We're talking about, well, I feel really sick, but I'm not going to go to the doctor until next month, or, and there's a deeper level of it as well. Endings that need to be made, like, I could quit the job, but I'm not going to do that for a long time, or I could end the toxic relationship, but it seems quite frightening to be daunted by being alone right now, so not now. And these things like roll over and snowball and become like things which are really, really hard to disconnect from in the future. Okay, and this was another test of 2018, I feel, as well. 2018 would have really shown you what's not going to work, and it would have really shown you what is like not negotiable, and it would have sort of seen, okay, will they cut it off, or will they procrastinate the ending? Will they procrastinate the closure of that situation? And you'll see 2019 mirror that until you can give yourself what you need. And a lot of you have. I know that a lot of you have had like the end of the relationship, or the change in the career, and like honoring that energy with some type of transition during like Capricorn and Aquarius time. So like December and January and February. I know that a lot of you are doing this, and that's good. It's good to rely on your instincts, and also good to see, was it worth it? Like getting on the other side of it and seeing the change that you made. If you ended the relationship, or you changed the job, or whatever it was it what you expected to be? Are the qualms that you needed to be solved now? And when you really measure those things up, can you see how part of it is also the stress response, and part of it doesn't really have to do anything with where you're at in life, or the people in your life, or the jobs that you're doing, or the payments that you're making? It's just about the stimulus reaction and the sensitivities. And then how can you also see a new optimism emerging relating to those sensitivities, where, no longer is someone taking a tone with me in my job or something going to be something that haunts me for like 2 years. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I allow someone to have the power over me, to be haunted by them for a long time, when they've not even done anything that they'll even remember for 2 days from now? Why would I put myself through that? Cancer's understanding why they put themselves through what they put themselves through is an integral part to moving into 2019. So do that as soon as possible, Cancer. As soon as possible. I also intuitively feel that 2019 establishes common grounds, so this is a really positive thing for Cancer. I feel that, pain of the past, we're always talking about that as Cancers. These things can be easily healed and easily met halfway. So if you've had estrangements or familial discord, you can see sort of an easy understanding emerge that gives you what you want and what they want as well. So with that said, it's not the best year for Cancer to be unlenient or unwilling to meet people halfway, or uncompromising. And that can be a hard thing for Cancer, because you see like, okay, I know what I want, I know what I need, and to betray that is to betray myself. Not always, okay? It's one thing to know what you want, and it's another thing to be aggravated at people's actions and not give them what they need because you feel that you're not getting it from them. So you're really operating from the prospect of revenge and not what your true needs are. I don't know a Cancer, and I've never known a Cancer, and I bargain that I never will know a Cancer who feels that their need is to have estrangements in their life, or feels that their need is to push people out. It's not a need of Cancer. What happens when Cancer feels the need to push someone out is most often a desperate need to see other people try to pull them in, to sort of test the waters and test how much they're actually valued in people's lives. And it's not to say that estrangements aren't necessary sometimes. Of course, there are situations where the only option is to remove someone from your life. I'm not discounting that, but that would have already been solved recently. 2019 isn't a year of estrangement for Cancer. It's not a year of pushing out. And it's not a year either where you will really see people wanting to pull you in based on that too. I do feel that people you've estranged in the past will come to accept that. Either that, or there will be just like this natural meeting halfway and this natural compromise, a very healthy natural compromise. And there should really be no more desire to, watch people suffer, to watch people feel pain on account of like not having you in their lives. And again, I'm talking to the Cancers who aren't really sure about estrangement. There are some situations where it's the only option. Again, I'm not discounting that. But I truly hope you've solved it by the end of 2018, or done any of like the truly necessary disconnecting and estranging, just because it won't feel natural in 2019. You'll see regret. You'll be like, oh, I blocked that person out and now I miss them, or oh, I blocked that person out and I'm not really sure if that was the right thing. It's easy to second guess in 2019. Anything in the negative variety for you. Negative and positive are quite subjective concepts, but anything that feels negative to you, Cancer, and any actions based on those negative feelings will be very second guessed in the year of 2019. It's not easy for anyone to be doing the pessimistic thing or the negative thing. So we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, and we also have Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn. And what does that mean for you, Cancer? You might think that with Saturn and Pluto and Capricorn opposing you, that would lean things towards a more negative space or a more left-leaning energy, but it actually doesn't. It's a very pragmatic energy, and it's a very rule-setting neutral, and you would see yourself suffering equal consequences to overt optimism and unwarranted optimism as you would overt pessimism. Okay, so Saturn in Capricorn is all about doing the warranted thing. It's all about doing the rational, clear-minded, right thing. It's not about revenge. It's not about serving the egos of either us or them or whoever. It's about doing the warranted thing after analysis and formulation and understanding. And then Jupiter in Sag comes in and encourages a bit more optimism and a bit more spontaneity. So it's hard to be negative, pessimistic, or the harbinger of these types of things. So Cancer really stepping up their optimism. You guys can be so optimistic and you guys can be so positive. Again, Jupiter is exalted in your sign. So yes, Jupiter in Sag is a quincunx angle to you, which is traditionally kind of a friction-y type of angle. Yet it's still familiar. It's familiar because Jupiter is exalted in your sign, so you are natally gifted with having Sagittarius energy in your chart and Jupiter energy. Especially if you have a Sagittarius placement, this is the year to have fun, this is the year to enjoy, this is the year to not second guess, and this is the year to also give chances and to also, understand humanity and understand fallibility, for sure. And I feel like Cancer, how do I want to say, giving people second chances or understanding the humanity of others while at the same time enforcing their own needs and enforcing their own healthy and structured routine and definition of what is right for them without getting too egoic with that, and being truthful and honest with themselves of what that actually consists of, and not letting other people determine that based on their actions, negative or positive. You know what I mean? That's really going to see Cancer just thriving so hugely in 2019, because yes, the relationship can go to the next level. More money than you expected, more career opportunity than you expected in 2019 through, accepting that sometimes things can be good and sometimes things can be positive, and sometimes what might look like a stressful situation is actually putting you onto a path that allows you to receive those things, and that requires optimism. A lot of Cancers have had it rough in 2018, I know you guys have. Saturn opposition, Pluto opposition, it's not easy. But if you were to let that dominate and you were to not step away from that energy line, you wouldn't really see it change. So it's really easy to see it change this year, and to allow them to be more of a routine and structured foundation and template for you versus the front row of your experience like they have been over the last year of 2018 along with Jupiter. Anyway, Cancers, I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling these tarot cards, and we're going to get a significator card for you for the year of 2019 and see what is coming up for you. I'm just shuffling right now. Am I giving you guys ASMR? Am I giving you guys ASMR with the shuffling? A bit of humor never hurts, right, Cancer? Humor in the year of 2019 is the best thing. Please laugh. Please laugh about things. There's your card. It jumped out into the floor. Let me get it. Ace of Swords. Okay, I like it. I like Ace of Swords for you in the year. And also the Empress is on the bottom of the deck as well. So that's really nice. And then the Chariot's on the top. So I saw those as I was putting the deck down. But Ace of Swords, what does it mean for you? It means that we're not being nearly as angsty about things. It means that we're not succumbing to paranoias, grievances, perilous crossroads, we have ideas and we have solutions and we have formulations that solve these past problems. So these are new ideas, new clarities, and new tools to navigate these things. So yes, for some of you, this could be having counseling done. For some of you, this could be, having readings done. You can check the description box below if you would like to book a private reading with me, or maybe get a series of them throughout 2018. I feel that with Ace of Swords energy for Cancer, this is so much giving yourself a tool set with which you can face anything in life. So yes, I definitely see counseling for some of you, grief counseling, bereavement counseling, relationship counseling, anything that gives you a new objective tool set to work with is such good territory. I also see this as a new sharpness and a new ability to pierce. Okay, so Cancer is not one to pick a fight with. Cancer is not one to challenge on things. And I feel that the responsibility that emerges to have this type of tool and to have this type of leg up over other people is one that does require so much responsibility. So how are you using your sharpness as a person? How are you using your scorpionic energy, especially for those of you with Scorpio placements, because you can sting people really easily, you can hurt people really easily, you're very empowered after 2018. And what you can also see is that people who get stung by you, or people who get clawed by you, Cancer, you got these pinching claws, you can see that they don't come back. You can see that it's such a painful thing, or it's such a fearful experience for them that they avoid. You can see that people start to avoid you if this new Ace of Swords energy is too on display or too recklessly, trigger happily used. Okay. And I feel for some of you, it does mean that you need to call others out, or you need to call people out on what they're doing, or you need to not let certain things fly or certain things pass, especially if it's truly an attack on you or something. But when you also have this type of power, people won't select you as an attack target. People won't really select you. People will sense it. And it's not to say that it won't happen, period. But sometimes it might be important to use this analytical ability that comes with this to think, okay, is this a situation that warrants the use of this new weapon? Is this a situation that warrants the use of this new proverbial sword that I have? I feel like a lot of people trust you. I feel like people are giving you access to them, relationships coming to a level where you have a lot of things against people if you wanted to use them, but to see Cancer using that would be quite an isolating thing as well. Sometimes Ace of Swords energy can be a bit isolating, so watch out for, common sense things that might make people stray away, or common sense things that might lead to isolation. Also with this type of energy, it's hard to play the fool. It's hard to play the, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. Oh, I didn't see this coming. Oh, I'm so confused. I'm such a damsel. I'm so like a victim to my environment. You will see that when you get Ace of Swords energy as like a significator card for your year ahead, that the universe provides you with all of the information that you need and gives you a complete layout with the potential opportunities. So if you see yourself with a lot of stress or a lot of victimization, it's hard to play the damsel card, or it's hard to be that sort of passive yin-y figure with this. This is a yang-y energy. This is a swords air energy. So the yin type of passivity is always going to be a component of you, but not good in reaction to stress or in reaction to turmoil, okay? Just be aware of that, and be aware of the clarity that you have about what's around you, and don't be afraid to follow through with that and to make changes to your environment so you're not seeing yourself in situations where you feel like a victim of your environment, okay? You have the tools to not be a victim of your environment this year, Cancer. They are completely at your disposal, completely. Changes are easy to make. Also, it's easy to get small things done. So, the things that your house has needed done to it, the things your car has needed done to it, get those things done. This is also about a bit of drudgery as well sometimes, but having everything that you need to do it. So no more convincing yourself that you don't have what you need to get the things done. You do. It's just a matter of no longer seeing yourself as not being able and not having it done. So Cancer, you need to be like, I will continue in this year. That's a great concept for you guys. And so yeah, Cancer, I feel like the best concept for you is I will continue. That's one that I've used for a long time myself. I have Cancer placements myself. I'm with y'all in this. And let's move into an incredible 2019. Let's do this, Cancer. Like, embrace your options. Embrace your just, embrace what's already there. It's already there. It's been there for a while. It's actually been there throughout 2018. Just 2018 got murky and muddy on account of old patterns and actually fear of seeing yourself with the power to make these changes, and the power and the people and the support networks and all of the things like that can scare Cancer a little bit, because it does sometimes make you feel a little bit less self-sufficient and independent, which can make you feel threatened, which will create a ripple in your life for sure. So not letting your self-sufficiency and independence hinge on the fact that other people are around and supporting you, or around and not supporting you, whatever it is. Try to think of things in those ways, Cancer. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Fellow Cancerian influenced person Sky here to give you this reading. Be sure to check out the 2019 Year Ahead Meta Companion. I so enjoyed the process of writing it. This year's is so much superior to last year's. It has a lot of specific information. I go month by month, prescribing a tarot card and theme for each month. And I also channeled in just some general healing strategies. So yes, we have the month by month as well as healing strategies and just some channeled insights. It's like 10 plus pages, and it's really wonderful. You can click the center of your screen right now to download that. And be sure to check out my Patreon page. I have deals on my subscription going right now. So a great time to start your 2019 off with, a subscription to my Patreon page to get some tools to help you craft your 2019. Much love, Cancers, and we'll be talking soon. Bye.